Civilization or Barbarism, an Authentic Anthropology by Dr. Cheikh Anta. This shows also that neither matriarchy nor patriarchy hinges on race, but stems from the material conditions of life, as we have always maintained. This does not minimize the fact that patriarchy became solidly established in the Indo European societies at the end of the Iron Age with the arrival of the Dorians in Greece. This occurred in Rome, Persia, Aryan India, Greece, etc., and it is inconceivable to project a matriarchal past onto the very people who were the vehicles of patriarchy, particularly the Dorians. All evidence suggests that these were people who went from hunting to nomadic life without ever experiencing the sedentary phase. It was only afterward, with the conquest of the agricultural regions, that they became sedentary. However, let us formulate some reservations about Jimbuta's thesis, as she acknowledges it herself. The culture that made rigid pottery, which developed from the one that made spherical amphora at the beginning of the third millennium BC, is considered to be the first Indo European culture typical of the North: Germans, Celts, the Illyrians, Baltics, and perhaps the Slavs. It is not absolutely certain that the hypothetical Kurgan invaders to whom she attributes this transformation in Northern Europe from making funnel shaped goblets to making spherical amphora were truly Indo Europeans or Proto Indo Europeans. It should be pointed out here that the invaded area, principally that of the Balkans, contains the most distant European branch and is quite different from the Nordic type, often revealing Negroid features reminiscent of the Grimaldi type or the Asiatic traits, resulting from the Asiatic invasions, of which the Huns and the Hungarians were the last. In fact, Gimbutas writes, the analysis of the skeletons in the cemeteries of the Buddha class, famous for the four-wheeled chariot in clay miniature, and in Asalonomedia near Budapest, has revealed the presence of populations connected to the steppes type as well as to the Mediterranean type. Gimbutas believes that there existed already the beginning of writing consisting of a corpus and more than 200 linear and hieroglyphic signs in the Vinca and the Karanova cultures. This writing precedes by 3,000 years the Minoan linear and seems to have certain kinship with it. In reality, however, they are merely symbolic drawings that in no way present the coherence of genuine writing. Otherwise, it would have been the first writing in the world. And one cannot understand then why Crete and the Aegean, located in the area spared from the destructive invasion of the Kurgans, would not have known writing 3,000 years earlier. Thus, there is no credibility to this thesis. Crete, in spite of its so called cultural heritage, did not come out of the proto history and would become acquainted with writing only under colonization by the 18th Egyptian dynasty. See chapter 3. Crete owes this writing to the Egypt, as evidenced by the following facts. It is a particularly noteworthy that on the linear tablets of Pylos in continental Greece during the Mycenaean epoch, there are two metrological signs that reveal the typical Egyptian influence. The talent, a measure of weight equivalent to 29 kilograms, is represented by the ideogram of the Egyptian balance scale. Also, the measure of the capacity equivalent to a quarter of a liter, the katila, is represented by another Egyptian ideogram, neb, or half sphere, basket, a semicircle, etc. Likewise, the genitive form of the name of Dionysus, replica of Osiris, has been found on these tablets. Finally, the Aegean civilization, instead of migrating from north to south as one would have expected, moved rather from the extreme south toward the north of Greece, which had remained semi barbaric even during the time of the Thucydides. Raymond Furin reminds us that the charts Altrin have particularly insisted on the Dravidians' role in the dissemination of the pre-Aryan myths in the West. And I'll leave it right there. I'm Yarrell Riley. This is Civilization and Barbarism. Thank you.